But you knew that he was doing porn?
No, so when we both met, we were kind of like totally like monogamous, and I just thought he was a model. I didn't know that he was like, yeah, you were, but like you had a whole nother side of you that I didn't really like know. Like he's a, you know, he has a really high like sex drive and loves like having sex with other women too, and is attracted to other women. So that part I didn't know. Yeah, and it kind of developed like further in our like only a few months.
A lot of communication, you know.
Yeah.
Because we started dating 3 months. I was like, this monogamous relationship. That's what we want, both of us.
But as
and
they
then,
say, like,
you know, I was just like, hey, I think I'm gonna do porn. I still had some contracts with L'Oreal, so I didn't want to kind of show my face. And I was talking to the agency for 2 years, and then I finally took a jump, and I was running OnlyFans for girls, and Kait just kind of like sneaked in, and like, you know, we started doing it together, and Kait started shooting with other performers.
I think he sat me down one day, probably like 3 months into the relationship, and you know, after a few months the true colors and everything always shows, like you can't hide it, you know? And he was just like, well, how do you feel like about like me having sex with other women or something? Like he just kind of brought that into like the space, and I really never thought about that before, because we are like raised in such a society where, you know, there's wrong and right, and the wrong in most cases is like having sex with other people aside from your partner, and
most of the people don't even bring it up, even if they want to do it.
Even if they,
because they feel like, oh, if I bring it to my wife or my husband, they'd be like, fuck.
Yeah, it didn't immediately scare you away though.
It didn't immediately scare me away, but I definitely remember saying like, I don't know like how I feel about that, and if I would really
threatening,
because it feels it's very heavy to take something that you're like raised for. You know, I met him when I was 21, so 21 years of my life being told like, you know, you're only supposed to really have sex with your partner that you marry, and you can't look at anybody else. And but at the same time, I was also like very open-minded, so I think about other like ideas, and like I feel like we just kind of as humans have this like bundle of thoughts that we think are the truth, and that's not always the case. So try to keep an open mind, but it's still not like, you know, we didn't have a lot of like communication to go through and normal like relationship like things.
Let me ask you this, like when I think about it, I think she could handle me doing porn with girls way before she could handle me going and kicking it with some girl.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Emotional connection is different.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just
talking. I think that's what we.
Sex,
I mean, you know, we don't.
We're
people
not,
think like open
like
relationship
that.
And shit like that. We're like, man, no, this is sex for money, for work. We make our content, we make our money, and that's that. You know, if you're not go hang out with some other guys, don't be with me, or vice versa.
I still think like it's important to keep an open mind, because you don't necessarily like want to restrict your partner. But if that partner wants to develop, for me at least, like if he wanted to develop emotional connections with other women, that just wouldn't be the right relationship for me, because it's not what I would want.
I don't think I know any couple that actually does this open relationship thing and they are actually successful and have a longevity in it, you know? Like, I know people that try that, they'd be like, you know, I'm cool with my man to play solo and I'm good with my girl to play solo, but dude, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm like, you and your person, you know, like watch the movies at nights and like, give them the emotional food, you know, like you don't, I mean, sex is sex, you know, everybody likes fucking at some degree. Some people are more comfortable with it and some people not, but
one of the things I like the most about being in a relationship is that the emotional part is taken care of.
Right,
so that's something I don't really have to think about outside of our connection.
Exactly.
You know, thinking about how I wanted to balance my girl with like other girls that I'm dating or whatever. That's
how can you?
I'm not looking for that level of complication. You know,
right.
That doesn't really appeal
That's
to
too
me.
much.
Like, the sex part, sure, but like we're lucky enough that we do it on camera, so we can do it in this like productive way that's like not really destructive for my life.
I don't think it's able to be a balanced 2 or 3 people and like give them the same amount of attention, and like how do they feel about it? You know,
I bet there are people out there who are successful at it. I haven't met them. I would like to meet them. I would like to know how it works and
in a healthy way. Yeah,
but
I
I don't know
people that tried
either.
it, you know, but they didn't like they fade away. You know, they divorce or break up because I used to go to like parties before we did porn, you know, and like before we even met, and I saw so many setups of these couples trying to figure out how to be sexually active with others, but in the same
Also
time, I don't know if it was
emotionally.
always healthy, you know, like the guy would leave the girl at the party and I kind of feel bad and the guy's coked up running around with his fucking dick, trying to get it in someone's mouth, you know.
You
It's like-
include you include the open relationship with drugs. That's when I can really
exactly,
see it.
dude.
Yeah.
Exactly. And at these parties, people are not always sober, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Almost never.
but like for us, it's just like the only
Work is
time
work.
we're actually like open, I guess you can say, is when it comes to just sex, and it's something that's like professional for us, and with the other people too. It's always like professional, tested people.
So have you ever
and-
had an off-camera threesome?
Yeah,
we had
yeah,
actually,
we have.
we went to party,
Yeah, like
but never.
we had a few months ago. Well, back in like November. But she's like a performer and she's tested
Oh,
too. But
yeah.
it was a random night. We were just
Was it more fun than on camera?
Not even.
Not really.
Not really. Okay.
I think
was
it was
expecting
like
a different
I was like a
response.
2-pump chump at that time. Really?
It was
5-6 minutes.
The thought of it
But
was
they
fun.
came-
Like
they
we
came
just
after
came
party
home
at like 3 in the
after.
morning. I was like smoking so much weed. I was like, fuck, I jerk off like 3 times. Not even have sex.
I like this guy. I like this guy. He sounds like
not
me.
okay with this, you know. Like, but I'm like, you know, you're gonna do it. So it's very seldom when we have sex
Yeah,
off
off camera
I think
with
it's
other
it's
people.
nice and organized when it's just like you test it, you know, like you come here, you know what's going on. We are very like organized. Girls come give us IDs, we take pictures, promos, doom 2 hours and go home. You know.
Right.
Once you get used to doing porn and it becomes a requirement for every girl you put your dick in to
Mm-hmm.
be tested, that really like kind of makes it so that like you have to plan for
Yeah.
it no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
So the spontaneous, that's how we used to have thissues with girls. We would go to the club, meet a girl, go home with her.
nice.
We had
Right.
amazing times like that, just
Yeah.
getting drunk and staying up
Yeah.
till 4 or 5 in the morning. But I don't think we'll ever do that again.
It's
Unless
so
it's a girl who's
Seems
tested
so
and
risky.
working with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So risky, so time consuming. You know,
I would like to
don't
go
know.
to a party though, because I feel like that'd be like a kind of a just little, like a little fun environment
Yeah.
to just be with your partner.
Yeah.
That's the thing, but the people are usually not
Oh,
as
like
hot as people
like a
in
sex
porn,
party?
you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're pretty fun. No, like there's actually a lot more hot men than women these
Oh,
days. I don't know
okay.
what
Okay.
happened.
Sex
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened.
I like
But
dudes.
I mean, they're not hotter like than like you. Like they're not like at that level. But
Right.
No, but I mean, okay, we go to, well, not a lot, but we've been to a lot of porn parties over the years, and you always think, oh, it's a porn party, it's gonna be
Yeah.
super crazy, and then it's
Nothing, dude.
never crazy.
Nothing.
Yeah, well-
Dude, I even went to like a hotel takeover sex parties for like 200 couples and stuff, and the amount of breaking ice and the fucking thing that like whatever is going in your head that everybody's gonna get down at a pool party or something, man, so not true. It's
Yeah.
like, what is your setup? You know, oh, he likes to watch, and I get down, and then like, what are you guys doing? Do you have a kid? So like, it's like 4 or 5 fucking hours to get to know the people, and then like an hour later you find out that they don't even get down, and you're just like, oh my god.
Why did I talk to you for
And I'm
30
like,
minutes?
I don't try to treat people disposable, but I'm like, you're at a fucking sex party, and
Yeah.
you're just there to because you like the atmosphere. I'm like, okay, you know, like it's your thing, you know, but I'm
That's
like,
so
it
interesting.
would be much better if
I feel
you know,
like that's
you
what
can get
drugs does, though. It's like if you had a party full of
It's
people on
fast
Molly,
forwards it,
then
yeah.
they would
well, they
actually
eventually
fuck it,
get
right?
to that
Of course.
point. You know, they eventually.
I
people
think
at those
yeah,
parties,
some
they
people
get there
have
and then
predetermined
everything
thought
is-
about what they are okay with, and then when they are in a situation, maybe they act a little differently, you
Right.
know. But it's like, Kait is Virgo, so the Virgo traits are no to everything. So I don't want to be pushing.
I'm very
but
type
sometimes
A.
I'm
I like structure and I like planning,
Well,
but
yeah.
if I'm like drunk, like I'm total opposite.
Oh yeah, give me one drink and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do everything. Like let's
Pretty
go.
much, yeah.
But you don't sound like you were the type to do porn, or like the type who had ever even really thought about it until you met him, right? Like, was that like the
She met a devil.
introduction?
Well, I guess I would say so before I met him, I did like my first like photo shoot because let me get started first from here. Like I've always been into fitness and I used to do like bodybuilding competitions
Oh, wow.
and trained, like my thing in high school was like I would be at school and you wouldn't find me at the parties. I would be at the gym like lifting weights and so I grew up like that and I really liked the discipline, but I also really loved like how you can shape your body, and I started really admiring like my figure, and I decided after I was already like here in LA and I was like 21 working for my normal 9-to-5 job, I wanted to like start getting into like photo shoots and stuff. So I did kind of shoot like with like a thong on and like a crop top or something with photographers. So I was already kind of starting to do like these more erotic, not your normal type of shoots. But yeah, I didn't really think about porn per se, but I think I was always like growing up, like I started watching porn at like 12 years old. I would like hurry up and get home and watch porn like before my mom got home from work and just kind of like explore that, but I never thought necessarily like that would be like my plan. I guess my plan was always to become like a personal trainer, and then when I met him,
I feel like Kait has this visage of like very put together, very like head on the shoulder. We don't really party that much and stuff, but when it comes to sex, it's kind of like the
I
other
turn
person.
into another person.
And you know, working with the performers a lot, like you can see who's better performer than the other. Which when we got into porn, it was like, wow, fuck, it's all fucking, it's the same thing, right? But